Hi, my name is Jordan Baker. I am the developer of Event Extensions, and I'm here this afternoon to just go over some of the changes with Event Extensions version 1.1, which brings a lot of new features to EventLink, which is the new version of scrolling pairings and some other features, and also go over some of the changes to PlayerLink. We're going to start with the easy part here with PlayerLink because not too much has changed here. What you see on the screen right now is from Dallas-Fort Worth. It is a little bit bare bones here, but just like previous versions, this can be any static HTML page. For Albuquerque, we had a logo on here. For most of Dallas, we had a full event list on here. This was just early on in the weekend. If you look over here on PlayerLink, we go to pairings. We're in day 2, we're in round 10. And we've got our pairings. Everything here looks the same until you scroll down a little bit, and all of a sudden you have these V's around. If you're not familiar with VIP system, what's been going on recently at Grand Prix is players can pay an additional fee, and in return they've been getting some additional perks. One of those has been fixed seating. The problem is fixed seating is a little bit time intensive for a scorekeeper, especially when there's 50 to 100 people doing this at the same time. Plus, DCI Reporter doesn't really like it when you pair and the VIP or the fixed seating is outside the range of all the players. So what we've done here is we've taken the VIP system and abstracted it completely out of DCI Reporter. So instead of the VIPs being a fixed seating, now they're a name range or a table range, where if you had 50 VIPs, they would be seated between tables 1 and 50, VIP 1 and 50. For day 1 for this event, Dallas-Fort Worth day 2 did not have VIP tables. This is just here for example. But day 1, we started at table 101. So you had the VIPs from table 1 to 50 something, and if they played against each other, it worked fine because the players, because we weren't doing fixed seating, we were doing a table range for all of them, that meant that the players had to check their seatings each round. So if there's a conflict and 2 VIPs played against each other, we had no problem because the VIPs were still checking their tables. And we'll show you how they did that a little bit later. But what I do want to show you, I'm just getting this up on my other screen. I have here, this is the directory that we're hosting all these files out of. And inside here, there's a little file called match.txt. And this match file, this contains the VIP list from this event. Each of these names is exactly how it would be listed on this display or on the scrolling display. So I may be able to show you here somebody like LSV, because all the names are camel cased and there's no space here, this has to be lowercase. But Luis Scott Vargas would be a VIP in this system. There's also some things like McDowney here, where you have an E that's lowercase. Basically, you want to make sure that whatever's here is matching whatever's here. Not what's in DCI Reporter, what's in here. 99% of the time they're the same, but not 100%. And just to show you, we've got Amaro Luis here. If I refresh this page, this is what controls all of it. So all of a sudden, Luis has VIP. And we'll just let him keep VIP for the rest of this demonstration. But the real change with this update has been to this page. If you have not used EventLink yet, this is replacing what you'd normally place on the screens that you have on at your location. So this page functions as everything that you have before: the static screen, the scrollings, the timer, all of that stuff. So right now, I'm going to switch over from PlayerLink into an admin page. Both of these pages are meant to be used on smartphones, which is why they're toned down, especially this page. All of these admin pages have a pin. It's defined in the code. Right now it's A2C4. And I can just go in here and I can say I want scrolling pairings. This page every 10 seconds pings the server saying what mode should I be in. So somewhere here in the next few seconds, there we go, it switches over and now we're in a new scrolling pairings mode. You'll notice Luis has his VIP table numbers. Hang on one second. Had a lot of takes before this and I didn't drink any water. So you see we have our normal scrolling pairings just like they are in our tools. But now it's all being handled without any major work, especially by a scorekeeper. A judge on the floor can control all of the screens. And the same way that we had name ranges, this also accepts name ranges. You see I'm using a format here, question mark, which means I'm adding a variable to the page in HTML, functionally. NR equals A through B. So now what you'll see is we'll go through and we'll see a name range, and it's only going to be the A's and B's in this event. So what we get is we still get our name range functionality, but we get it in a much simpler way than going through our tools, fitting the windows to the correct size and doing a bunch of other unnecessary things. As one additional benefit, I can go in here and I can say I want all the VIPs. By default, it always goes to the static mode, so it has to get through one round of checks. And now all of a sudden it's going to show all the VIPs. There might not be that many in this event right now, so it might show something a little interesting right here. No, we're good. Alright. So what you get is all the VIPs, just like it's essentially coming out of a customized printout. And the VIPs also show up in all of the name ranged or on the non-name ranged pairings boards. So VIPs get a board if you want to give it to them specifically for VIPs. And they can also just check the normal pairings boards or they can check the website. And once you're ready to get going, this will do a check again and we'll switch over and we'll get a timer set up. I'll note that in the 1.1 update this timer is a little bit iffy, so I do apologize for that. So you may need to hit this a couple times to get it go in the right synchronized mode. I'll hit reset and run here and you'll see that the timer starts going. This is something that is synchronous between all of the machines, so you'll get this displaying on every machine. These timers, as of me talking right now, may be off by about a second between them. Maybe off, each of the screens may be off by about a second. Your opinion on that may vary. Some TOs I've talked to don't mind that, some do. I'm working on a better way, but that is actually a very difficult computer science challenge to get timers to be synchronous. But once we hit, say, 40 minutes in the round, all of a sudden I can switch over to still have the timer on the screen, but now instead of the scrolling, we don't need that anymore. So I just told it to switch back to the static page, and now we've got timers running on all the screens with an event listing, with advertisement, with whatever you want, because this Welcome to GP page is just a static HTML page. Whatever you want to put in there should work. So what else do I have to talk about with this update? Realistically, that's about it. The one other thing that's helpful just to know about is there's an additional page on here specifically for judges, judge.php. And this lets your judge staff know, because we're still using the DCIR table numbers for our result slips and for entry at the end. So somebody's going to need to know, okay, when I hand out the match result slips, which DCI reporter slip goes to what VIP table. The way the code is set up, these will always be both in ascending order. So the lowest DCIR table will go to VIP 1, the second lowest will go to 2, and so on. So they will be in order, but it's always helpful, at least from what we found so far, to have this reference available, especially just so that the person handing out slips knows whether a table is open because because there's 2 no-shows, or because it's a VIP table, or because somebody's sitting in the wrong spot. There's a whole bunch of reasons. So really, that's all I wanted to talk about for this 1.1 update. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to email me. My email is shizu, S-H-I-Z-U, @bradleyjx.net. That website is also where you can go and download the 1.1 update. Additionally, if you're not on RTools 3.259, I would recommend you get onto that one. That, I believe, has a couple fixes that are relevant to the website. Primarily it deals with a couple compatibility issues. That's really all I got. Thanks for tuning in and checking, and I look forward to feedback.